Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the High Point Hello. It's sponsored by Segra. Segra is the official TV cable internet provider of the High Point University Panthers. I'm Kevin McMahon, and I'm joined by High Point Soccer alum and star, and now a player for the New Mexico and the USL, and doing a great job, Austin Yearwood. Austin, thanks for joining us.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thanks for having me on.
So I want to get started here with this, Austin. We're both members of an exclusive club when it comes to going to High Point, because I went to High Point, you went to High Point, but we're one of the few High Point kids who are actually from North Carolina. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, growing up, I didn't really know of High Point before I started getting recruited there. But obviously, once you get there, once you get to the school, you just fall in love. So I'm very thankful for that experience.
I'm from Hickory, North Carolina. I'm a Hickory guy. You're from Charlotte. Talk to us a little bit about the Charlotte soccer scene when you were there. It was starting to boom then. It's really booming now. But a really competitive place to be playing soccer and trying to get recruited, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Charlotte's a soccer city, especially on the youth levels. When I was growing up, there were a lot of clubs. Not so much anymore. It's kind of dominated by a couple clubs now, but there's a lot of competition in North Carolina in general, talking about all the soccer schools, Big South and especially ACC and stuff like that. But the landscape now with obviously the Independents being the USL team, and obviously I played there for a couple of years, and now with MLS coming to Charlotte in 2022, it's definitely taking it up a notch.
I was going to say, I know you're in the USL, but as a Charlotte guy, that's got to be kind of exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for it.
I want to ask you about your time at HPU and really your senior season. A whole lot went down, and just talk to me about that experience. And you guys, I felt like that was really your year where you really made a name for yourself.
Yeah, my senior year was it was a crazy ride. Especially for the conference tournament, obviously that time, I feel like that season, I'm not sure where he finished in the table, but it wasn't, at the top. I remember having a lot of overtime games, a lot of draws. But going into the tournament, anything can happen. And especially, so I think we started out at Coastal Carolina, and, we're a goal down, and we're scoring the last couple seconds of the game and taking the PKs and winning it there. And the next round we're playing Radford, and, we're up 1-0, and then we're down 3-1. And then, we score 3 goals at the very, very end of it. And then obviously losing to Winthrop in the final in PKs was heartbreaking, but there was something special about that team in general. And at the time, a lot of freshman guys, your Rashid Tetes and Johnny Phoenix, and that was the beginning of something special for them as well. Of course, they went on to put High Point on the map like no other. So,
that Radford game is iconic, as you said, the 3-1 comeback. But I want to ask you about that Coastal game in particular, because they were ranked at the time, I'm pretty sure, and they were having quite the season. And like you said, you guys, had to go play on the road and in a quarterfinal game, and nobody picked High Point in that one, and you guys won in PKs. Tell me about that scene, because I know when it got to PKs, it wasn't like it was over. You remind me here, I could be exposing myself, but I think it went pretty late into PKs as well, right?
Like yeah. That game, Coastal Carolina, obviously, while they were part of the Big South, had tons of success, and to a point kind of ran the conference like they were the favorites to win everything most of the years. So you're right, like we weren't pegged to win. But
I picked you, but the experts didn't. I was picking us, but the experts weren't.
Yeah, so I don't mind being an underdog, and at that point when we're not picked, it's kind of like we have nothing to lose, There's nothing but to just go out there and leave it on the field and keep swinging. And even when we're 1-0 down, the season's not over. It doesn't stop. And that's exactly how we played. And Chris Ramsell gets that header goal, and, we're back in business. And I'll take our chances in PKs anytime.
You're one of the most decorated pros in High Point in the program's history. But when did playing pro feel like an option for you, and was that always your dream?
I'd probably say that it was maybe in the back of my mind at all times, but I didn't really feel like it could become a possibility to play professionally until one of my PDL coaches, Dave Dixon at the Charlotte Eagles, after my junior year, had mentioned that he felt like, I could potentially be a draft pick. And that's when, it was first audible, and so I kind of went into that senior season with that goal. It just seemed a little bit more real, a little bit more tangible. And the rest is history after that.
When somebody puts it on your radar like that, like, hey, like I feel like you have the potential to be a draft pick, you go, okay, maybe there's a shot here.
Yeah, for sure. I always believe in my own ability, but it's definitely nice to hear it from coaches that know you well and believe in you as well.
So you recently got an honor. You were named to the USL Team of the Week. You were named one of the star defenders in the USL for the week. And how did you find out about
that? Well, Coach Gill had called me. I was actually in the airport at the time. My team was getting ready to fly to Utah because we had a couple games last week there. And, I had a missed call from Coach Gill, and, I called him back, and, he was joking around with me, but he was like, I just want to say congratulations. And I was like, on what? And he's like, Team of the Week. And I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I had no idea.
He wanted me to ask that. He also had a follow-up question with which Gillen is your favorite?
Which Gillen is my favorite?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you clarify the question a little bit? What do you mean, which Gillen?
Josh or Lauren? Which Gillen is your favorite?
Oh, Lauren.
Well, that gets us ready for what we're gonna do next, because I want to do a little lightning round with you. I want to say some names here and get 2 to 3 words of you describing them. First thing comes to your head, okay?
All right.
Okay. You're gonna see a theme here. You ready?
All right.
Okay. Adam Storm.
Warrior, loyal. I want him in the trenches with me.
Colson Wiley.
He's the same thing. That's the guy I want next to me no matter what, because I know he's got the intangibles, man.
A guy who should be a WWE champion someday, Arian Campbell.
Arian, that's my guy. I think he's a leader. He has a great balance of seriousness and fun. And yeah, that's again someone I love to be by.
Old Matt Donald.
Matt Donald, what a guy. I roomed with him actually. He was a great roommate. Again, funny, leader. Yeah, just a great presence to have around.
Follow-up question on him. When you were rooming with him, would you look across, the living room and go, that guy, he's a Bachelor contestant. I can just tell.
At the time, no, but hindsight 2020, it makes sense.
Okay, we'll continue here. P-Rod, Paulie Rodriguez.
Lechuga, he had hair back in the college days, but he's someone I respect. He carries himself really well.
Just a few more here. Pat Shelton.
That's one of my best friends for sure. We stay in contact quite often, and he was my freshman year roommate. And he's a go-getter. He wakes up every day and does the best he can with it, and he's super successful out in Denver now, and that's my guy.
Justin Shear.
Another Charlotte guy. He's someone that doesn't stop. He's an energizer bunny. He's going. He'll run straight through a brick wall if it means he's going to get whatever he needs done.
Last one for you. A guy who doesn't get maybe as much credit as he used to since Keegan Meyer's been in town, but Cody Palmer.
Cody Palmer. He's an introspective, thoughtful person, and I think especially that senior year, he was by far and away the best goalkeeper in the league.
All right. That was awesome. You did great. I gave you about a 2-minute heads up we were going to do that. So, you're a pro. I don't know what I expected other than that you were going to crush it. But let's talk about your run with New Mexico right now and, how everything's going because, it seems like everything's going very well for you.
Yeah. Obviously, since the restart, we've been in a good run of form. We've played every single game on the road this season. So, given that, it's tough to do, but we're up for the challenge.
How fun is it to be back there with Rashid every day? 2 Panthers, 1 back line. Well, how does that feel?
It's awesome. I was stoked when I heard that we signed Rashid in the first place last year, but he's also my roommate, and but he's someone, he's a man of action. Anyone will tell you that. He kind of shuts up and just puts up. But he's got a smile that lights up a room, and when he does talk, everyone listens.
That's bad journalism on me. We should have got him in here for a conference call. But that's awesome. Anything else? I think you've been tremendous. As I said, you're a guy who's been in the pros for a while. You went through the ranks, and now you're with New Mexico. But how is this restart been for you personally? I know it's kind of a weird time, but how have you felt? The whole kind of process of it. How's that been for you?
I mean, it's been good. It's definitely everything's happening fast, so you don't necessarily have time to sit down, process, and think. But, during kind of the shutdown, our team was preparing for it for sure. So that work that we put in while we were off is showing now, and we plan to keep it rolling.
Well, here at High Point, even though you guys are over west, we're big New Mexico fans over here. So we're cheering for you and Rashid, and we appreciate the time and wish you nothing but good luck.
I appreciate it. I'm always keeping an eye on High Point one way or another. So